Blink and you'll miss it. But what was the reasoning behind taking this snap trading position? If you want to find out, watch the rest of this clip while I'll explain exactly why I placed this trade. Okay, so a lot happened there, and it happened really quite quickly. So I'm now going to take the full clip, showing you the whole entire screen, recall the set of events, what happened, what made me behave as though I did, where the specific opportunity was, and clear up some flawed thinking on the route, if you like. The reason for that is I've seen quite a few conversations online recently, people discussing what is trading, what is betting. I think that there's lots of confusion between the two. When you're trading, there's a specific advantage, as I'll share in this clip when we break it down. So I want to clear up those misconceptions, highlight a little bit of back into lay. Obviously it's not a back to lay in the usual kind of sense that I would do a back to lay, although there was a good bit of opportunity and a specific reason that I reacted as I did at that point in time. So it was all very last minute, so I will actually slow the clip down as well towards the end of this explanation. Now, I was recording something for the video pack course, which didn't actually happen. So I'm left over with this recording, and that's why I thought I'd whack this one on YouTube, because something changed, presented an opportunity, much like that saying, where there's change, there's often opportunity. There was, and I reacted to it there and then. It wasn't something that you would have foreseen early on, and so it's an easy, quick exploit within the market. But I'll share this with you now, and we'll break it down step by step, make it nice and clear to understand. Okay, so we've sat here, I've set up screens, I've placed a couple of bets, you'll see over on the left there. I've just placed a scratch trade basically so I can see the live video, see what's going on. This race is going off late, and I was actually recording it so I could explain something else that happens in late markets. But there was a bit of commotion. As you can see on the screen there. This horse is not having much fun, looking like it wants to go in. And so it can possibly change the situation. Now, I want to say that this situation doesn't happen very often at all, and that's probably one of the reasons that I'm putting it on YouTube, because, you know, it's a very tiny edge. I make a bit of a mess of how I deal with this, or I'm a bit too slow, shall I say, maybe not a mess, I'm a bit too slow, how I deal with this, and it's not one that happens every single day, but it is, you know, an insightful thing to see and see how the markets work and understand what's going on. So they're having trouble getting this horse into the stalls, and it just happens to be the favourite, Michelle. So I'm aware of, you know, where the pace is likely to be in this race. It's a short-term race that I wouldn't normally play at the start. I wouldn't do a back to lay at the start. For anyone that doesn't know what a back to lay is, we'll put a link somewhere in the comments below, but it's basically where you back a horse at the start of the race with the intention of laying it off in play because you expect its price to drastically shorten very quickly, depending on how it runs its race, its price, various other things discussed elsewhere in the video pack and the site and stuff. But basically this horse is struggling to go in, and it looks like it may be withdrawn from the race. So I'm like, okay, this could present an opportunity. Now the opportunity comes if the horse is withdrawn from the market at the start, not prior to the start. I mean, there could still be an edge there if it's prior to the start, but it happens, you know, you'll see why in a second as I explain, and we slow it down afterwards. But this is more of an opportunity when a horse is withdrawn at the start, as they start the race, like very quickly, like it's going to on screen in the second, basically. But I'm fully aware that there's only really a couple of different horses in this race who are likely to lead the race, and Lackaday is one of those horses. The others have been withdrawn before the start of this race, and the other one that would potentially do that is Michelle. So if Michelle is withdrawn from the race, then that only really leaves one horse that's likely to win the race. Now, it's not necessarily a case of this horse is a very strong front runner, but it's a case of there's no competition. So I think a lot of people get caught up on that when they're trading a lot of the time. We want a specific edge, an advantage over the market, and what's better than having an advantage where nobody else is competing for something? So, there's no competition for the lead if this favourite is withdrawn. But it's better than that, and that's where this potential edge comes. Now, if you ever backed prior to the start of a race and then gone to lay it off in running, but there's been a withdrawal at the start, there's a rule floor applied to the market, because obviously the odds needs to be reformed within the market because there's now not a horse in the race that was in the race. Sounds like a bit of a mouthful, but if you understand what rule 4 is, then you'll know exactly what I'm on about there, and that can catch you out ordinarily. But in this instance, if the favourite is withdrawn, then the rest of the odds within the market should be significantly less. And so if a horse is withdrawn at the start very quickly like this, and you can still catch the price in play after the market has been reformed, because it gets reformed at the start, then you're on for a pretty good opportunity if you can catch that old price. So basically what I'm saying is, if this race goes in play now and I can catch it at its current price when the market's reformed, because it's an in-play market, then I've got myself a good advantage anyway, number one. Number two, if this is going to be the only horse that bolts off in the lead, then even better. And so that's why I'm very interested at this point in time. Is this horse going to be withdrawn? It looks like they're giving it the last chance to go into the stalls now. And if it is, I want to back Lackaday, providing Lackaday comes out of the stalls, or comes out of the stalls normally, doesn't get caught at the very start. And so if we look onto the screen now, you'll see they're giving up this horse. Okay, so now a horse is withdrawn as the market turns in play. Okay, and I'm like, bam, now I need to back it. Bam, 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 bam. I'm trying to get the price that it was previously. Now, I was a little bit slow. Maybe I was a little bit greedy. Obviously, want to get the biggest price I can. And that may seem like there was a lot of stakes went into the market there was, but I'd have been quite happy if they were filled, because, even if the horse wasn't to front run, then its price should have been significantly shorter than what it was the split second before they decided that this favourite wasn't going to run in this race. And so that's why we catch the quick and huge contraction there within the market. Obviously, I'm not the only one that's known that. You've seen the amount of money that come in there quite quickly as well. But it's literally a no-brainer opportunity to suck up some profit out of the market. So we'll slow that down again in a second to make it really clear for anybody that doesn't really understand what I'm talking about. But it's an easy opportunity within the market. It was a snap decision. It was something that happened quickly, and being prepared, it is a distinct advantage over the rest of the market and everybody else and all its participants within the market. And you'll see that I don't really care where the horse has gone, because I've actually hedged my position up quite quickly there. But that is an advantage, and therefore it's a time advantage really. It's an opportunistic advantage because I could see what was happening and I preempted it. But that is an advantage that we're betting on there, because I know that, if all them bets had been matched, then it'd been brilliant, because I'd have got a huge chunk and a far bigger green. But this is the type of thing that you want to be trading, because it's an advantage over the market. It is a specific edge. The odds are heavily in your favour. I'm not just going, I think the price is going to come in, and so I bet on it.